Shabbat Shalom. Our scripture reading for today is Hebrews chapter 4, verses 15 and 16. For we have not an high priest which cannot be touched with the feelings of our infirmities, but was in all points tempted, as we are, yet without sin. Let us therefore come boldly unto the throne of grace, that we may obtain mercy and find grace to help in time of need.
Shabbat Shalom, family. Our selection today, Take Me to the King.
The oracles of the UCI. 1 Peter chapter 4, verses 7 through 11. But the end of all things is at hand. Be you therefore sober and watch unto prayer. And above all things have fervent love among yourselves, for love shall cover the multitude of sins. Use hospitality one to another without grudging. As every man has received the gift, even so minister the same one to another as good stewards of the manifold grace of Elohim. If any man speak, let him speak as the oracles of Elohim. If any man minister, let him do it as of the ability which Elohim gives, that Elohim in all things may be glorified through Yahshua the Mashiach, to whom be praise and dominion forever and ever. Amen. Ephesians chapter 4, verses 29 through chapter 5 and verse 4. Let no corrupt communication proceed out of your mouth, but that which is good to the use of edifying, that it may minister grace unto the hearers. And grieve not the Holy Spirit of Elohim, whereby we are sealed until the day of redemption. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and evil speaking be put away from you with all malice. And be you kind one to another, tender-hearted, forgiving one another, even as Elohim for Yahshua's sake has forgiven you. Be you therefore followers of Elohim, as their children, and walk in love, as the Mashiach also have loved us, and has given himself for us an offering and sacrifice to Elohim for a sweet-smelling savor. But fornication, and all uncleanness, or covetousness, let it not be once named among you as become saints. Neither filthiness, nor foolish talking, nor jesting, which are not convenient, but rather giving of thanks. Ecclesiastes chapter 5, verses 1 and 2. Keep your foot when you go to the house of Elohim, and be more ready to hear than to give the sacrifice of fools, for they consider not that they do evil. Be not rash with your mouth, and let not your heart be hasty to utter anything before Elohim. For Elohim is in heaven, and you upon earth. Therefore, let your words be few. Exodus chapter 23, verses 20 and 21. Behold, I send an angel before you to keep you in the way, and to bring you into the place which I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgressions, for my name is in him. Revelations chapter 3, verses 20 through 22. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. If any man hear my voice and open the door, I will come into him and will sup with him, and he with me. To him that overcomes will I grant to sit with me in my throne, even as I have also overcame and am sat down with my Father in his throne. He that has an ear, let him hear what the Spirit says unto the churches.
All right, Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
That is peace on Yahweh's holy Sabbath day. Welcome to another holy convocation that Yahweh has enjoined unto us here in Lithonia, Georgia. Micah chapter 7 and verse 8 says, Rejoice not against me, O mine enemy. When I fall, I shall arise. When I sit in darkness, Yahweh shall be a light unto me. I will bear the indignation of Yahweh because I have sinned against him, until he plead my cause and execute judgment for me. He will bring me forth to the light, and I shall behold his righteousness. Then she that is my enemy shall see it, and shame shall cover her which said unto me, Where is Yahweh your Elohim? Mine eyes shall behold her. Now shall she be trodden down as the mire of the streets. As it is written, a just man falls 7 times and rises again, but the wicked shall fall into mischief. We must understand that there is a difference between falling and falling away. Let's begin today's sermon in Matthew chapter 10. Matthew chapter 10, and we're going to start that at verse 16. See, the adversary would like for you to be at a point where you have condemned yourself so bad for not meeting the mark that you don't believe yourself that you are worth forgiving. And in that he wins. Because when he gets into our mind and affects us in that way, then we approach it in a certain way. And then because we then approach seeking that forgiveness in a lackadaisical way, or in the same old foul way that we did in the streets, Because, you know, we have a tendency sometimes when something happens, we just try to, you know, block it out. We go dismissal on it. Like, you know, we'll disappear for a while and then just show back up and act like ain't nothing happened. We won't acknowledge any of the things that were done. We won't acknowledge that we have not dealt with, like the people have forgotten the last words that came out of our mouth just because we ain't showed up in 2 weeks. 2 weeks didn't take away those words. 2 weeks didn't take away those actions. But in that, now the adversary has tricked us into how we're going to seek repentance. And in that, he has us condemning ourselves worse than the Most High has condemned us. We have to understand that we're dealing with an entity who knows the word better than anybody in this room. Better than anybody and everybody combined in this room. When it says that he's a word to adversary, they really meant that. You have to understand the level of who it is that we are dealing with. We're talking about a fallen angel sitting right next to the seat. What can you possibly know? What can any revelation that you get? What any study? You gonna learn Hebrew? You gonna learn this? What can you possibly learn that's gonna be over the one who's sitting next to the seat? We're talking about the man sitting next to the man, and you think you can study enough to beat that? Now, you ain't going to beat that with your study. You're going to beat that with something else. You're going to have to figure out how to get that something else. Matthew chapter 10, and let's start that at verse 16.
Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be you therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves.
Some of those wolves is your family and your friends. Some of them wolves will go right to church with you and say Shabbat Shalom. Hug you, squeeze you real tight. Squeeze you so tight you feel like your giblets about to come out. Right. That was a wolf hug. Go ahead.
But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues. And you shall be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles.
Let me tell you something. The only thing I ever had, matter of fact, I ain't never had no jury trial. So the only time I ever been brought before a bunch of men was in the church. Well, I had a circle of 10 deacons coming at me after my elder's death. I ain't never had to stand trial. So I ain't never had 12. The only situation I ever had was in the church. Good.
But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you shall speak, for it shall be given you in that same hour what you shall speak.
You know, this sounds good, right? Until it happened to you. Then when it happened to you, right, you're going to end up saying something. And then you're going to say, what I say that for? That was so stupid. Golly, I made myself look worse. Then a month later, you realize that's exactly what I was supposed to say. So don't think you're going to agree with this when they said, look, don't. The reason he's saying, see, what I thought, the way I looked at this before, you know, give no thought to what you shall speak, it shall be given you. What he's telling you, look, stay out my way. Stay out my way. I know what I'm doing. What I need you to do, just stay out my way. When it comes time to do what needs to be done, I'm gonna make sure you taken care of. But I'm gonna need you to stay out my way though. All right? Don't go to second guessing me. Don't go to third guessing me. Because no matter how much you think, you ain't gonna think enough for this right here. And sometimes you thinking too much because you trying to deliver something deep. You trying to deliver something so articulate. It's just immaculate. And Yahweh said, stop. Yeah, but I was looking for something deeper to say, Yahweh. Is there a synonym for that sounds good? Boy, shut up and say what I said. Go ahead.
For it is not you that speak, but the Spirit of your Father which speaks in you. And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death, and the father the child, and the children shall rise up against their parents, and cause them to be put to death. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake, but he that endures to the end shall be saved.
Right. You know, the biggest thing that you realize in this word, the day you understand why you're hated. That was a real strong day for me. You know, you grow up thinking that, you know, these people dislike you because of the color of your skin. You think that it's because you're black. You think that it's that thing, and you find out, oh no, it's something else. No. That's not why they have indignation against us. It's more than just color. There's something else there. When he says, you know, you're going to be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people. Wait a minute. Cain and Abel were brothers. All it took to bring forth hatred is one offering was accepted and the other one wasn't. It didn't say Cain would look one way and his brother look the other way. They had the same mom and dad. So this wasn't about look. This is about something else. This is about acceptance and non-acceptance. And if you keep your eyes open, you'll be able to see it as you're walking about in your everyday life. It's not color that's going to cause you a problem. It's going to be when Yahweh accept your offering and don't accept somebody else's, they have put you on an enemy non-likable list. Then after that, we have to make sure that we don't turn around and give them no fuel to turn around and keep forward with that erroneous mission that they got. Go ahead.
Verse 23. But when they persecute you in this city, flee you into another. For verily I say unto you, you shall not have gone over the cities of Israel till the Son of Man be come.
It doesn't say when you think they're going to persecute you, start running. It says when you are persecuted. We'll just think, you know what, I think they're going to swing. I'm out. No, man, I'm just, you know what I'm saying? When I look, they were shoulder width apart. You know what I'm saying? And that, you know, that's how you post up before you punch. You know, you shoulder width apart, they drug back the right foot. I said, oh, no, hell, I'm out. Wait a minute. That ain't what he told you. So when you get to the place you done ran to and Yahweh meets you, say, so tell me what happened. Well, I mean, they was persecuting me. What they do? They put their foot back. They did what? They put the foot back. You know, the strong foot, the powerful foot. Then when they put that back, I knew they were swinging. Did they swing on you? Well, no. Get all your stuff. Turn around and go back. Now we got to go back with our tail between our legs. Go ahead.
The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his adonai. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master and the servant as his adonai. If they have called the master of the house Beelzebub, how much more shall they call him them of his household?
Right, but we want to be called great among all men. I don't think you understand the master. So if you don't understand the master, you don't understand what happens when somebody don't put you on the great list. You don't really understand who it is you're serving. I was on the great list when I worshiped Beelzebub. I got off the great list when I started worshiping Yahweh. Some of y'all think y'all still supposed to be on the great list. You don't understand who it is you're serving. You're getting upset because you're looking, but nobody put your name on the great list. You among the greatest brothers I've ever seen in my life. Wait a minute, I don't see my name. Put my name on there. I'm going maybe look at it. Maybe put my name on the back. Maybe my name on the back. Your name not on there. You done forgot who you serve. My name was on every list when I served the adversary of the devil. Before they made up the list, my name was just sitting on the side. What you got his name now for? Because whenever I make the list, I'm going to put him on it. Right. Go ahead, priest.
Fear them not, therefore, for there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed,
Uh-huh.
and hid that shall not be known.
Uh-huh.
What I tell you in darkness, that speak you in light, and what you hear in the air, that preach you upon the housetops. And fear not them which kill the body, but are not able to kill the soul, but rather fear him which is able to destroy both soul and body in hell.
So we scared of the wrong thing. Go ahead.
Are not 2 sparrows sold for a farthing, and one of them shall not fall on the ground without your Father? But the very hairs of your heads are all numbered. Fear you not, therefore, you are of more value than many sparrows.
You have to know that, though. Even when you fall, you have to understand that you have value with your Elohim if you allow him to prosper through you. If you allow him to prosper through you, you have value. But if the adversary, the devil, can get in your head and make you feel worthless, you are what you think you are. You ever look at how many people in especially in the entertainment business who don't know they're beautiful and what happens to them? Lil' Kim was one of the most beautiful little chocolate girls I mean that you would ever see, but she didn't think so, and in turn she became hideous. She kept doing. I mean, this. Hey, man, come on, bro. She looked like a creature. Come on now. She done had the surgery after surgery. She done bleached the skin to the point where ain't no more skin now. That's probably straight muscle we looking at, because she done bleached all the skin away. Michael Jackson did the same thing. I used to have the Michael Jackson off the wall because it was a fold out with the glowing socks on it. Man, I used to look at this and I said, that's a cool Negro right there. I'm talking about Big Nose Mike. A lot of y'all ain't never seen Big Nose Mike. Big Nose, y'all don't know Big Nose Mike. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know light skin, no nose Mike. Y'all know that one. I know Afro Big Nose Mike with the glowing sock. Put the hands in the pocket just like that right now. I used to come home from school, look at that. I'll be like, but that's a cool, that's a cool thing there. I thought that was one of the coolest brothers around. And every album, and he keep getting lighter and lighter. And the nose keep getting smaller. It didn't matter how cool I thought he looked. I thought he was a handsome guy. And it's hard to get a brother to say another brother handsome. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's hard for us to say that. You know, Denzel will walk in, we'd be like, yeah, all right, you know, so much. I mean, yeah, all right, you know, he ain't didn't write home about it, you know what I'm saying? But that brother didn't think in his mind that he was a certain way. So his mind kept searching for something. And every step he took, he got further away from what he thought he was getting closer to. The battle is in here. And if you let the adversary, the devil, get in here, you have quite a battle on your hands. Go ahead.
Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father which is in heaven. But whosoever shall deny me before men, him will I also deny before my Father which is in heaven.
Now this sounds like, this sounds like this is the one thing you don't want to do. You can do all other things, but you want to make sure you don't do this, because this sounds like this may be some heavy stuff that you might not be able to crawl out from under. Keep reading.
Think not that I come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I'm come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law.
Right, but see, we want to agree with some of them so bad that we figure if we are in disagreement with our parents, we must be in the wrong. We must be, or something must not be going right. And when Yahweh get ready to direct you, who say he gonna direct your mama and your dad at the same time he direct you? Then what you gonna do? Well, I go with my mama go. Yahweh said, X, can't you down? Because there going to be some places I need you to go. Your mama can't go. Now what you going to do? You going to not go? Right?
And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loves father or mother more than me is not worthy of me. And he that loves son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me. And he that takes not his burdens and follows after me is not worthy of me. He that finds his life shall lose it. And he that loses his life for my sake shall find it.
Right. Which things do we put of high importance and Yahweh falls down the list? Yahweh's things fall down the list. How many of us know that new moon is a commanded feast? You should come to one and see how many people here. Read.
He that receives you receives me, and he that receives me receives him that sent me. He that receives a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receives a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. And whosoever shall give to drink one of these little ones a cup of cold water only in the name of a disciple, verily I say unto you, he shall in no wise lose his reward.
Right. So the nations are being tricked to give all of their good substance unto the wrong people. Don't get it twisted. We have to be careful how we treat one another. Let's go to Matthew chapter 26. See, when you start talking about the battle in the mind, I don't know how many of you all have seen some of the pictures of what the Israelis have done to the Palestinians, just line them men up, take all their clothes off. We talking about people who have culture, all right? We talking about people who cover themselves. It's kind of funny now. You know, now we may be some of those people who like to go out and, walk around with our shirt off, but then when somebody take our shirt off, then we upset. I wasn't ready to have my shirt off. I normally oil it first. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'll take it. Give me the baby oil first and let me lather up real glistening like. They stripped all these brothers, lined them up on the ground in their underwear. And they taking pictures of them, filming them. These are people who believe in covering themselves. They're not just playing war. They're warring with these people's mind. And part of the news things you'll hear, you're hearing this buzzing. That's the drones constantly going over their head. These people have PTSD so bad. There's constant noises. Then their anxiety kicks in at night because this when they bomb. They don't want them to see the bombs coming. So they wait until it get pitch black. Then they hear more buzzing and bombs going off. They've sent the drones over and watched everywhere where they were. Then the drones come back at night and drop bombs in all them places. And we swear we got some problems, man. People be looking at me funny. They stripped you in your drawers and made you walk down that street out there. How funny you think people gonna look at you then? Go ahead.
It's actions like that show that they cannot be these people in the book, because one thing we know, Yahweh instituted a culture, but we can read where the culture was already there before it was instituted. So you have no respect for the culture, period, because we can think about the time when Abraham said what? She's my sister, right? Mm-hmm. And when they found out it was his wife, then people said what? Hey man, why you do this to us? Because there was already a culture set. So how could you then know that you're supposed to stay covered and go uncover another person of another culture and then film it?
Right.
Something's wrong with you and the culture.
Mm-hmm. No doubt. No doubt.
Matthew chapter 26 and verse 30. And when they had sung an hymn, they went out into the Mount of Olives. Then says Yahshua unto them, all you shall be offended because of me this night, for it is written, I will smite the shepherd, and the sheep of the flock shall be scattered abroad. But after I'm risen again, I'll go before you into Galilee.
You know what, brother? What you just said reminds me of something. It says that the music industry is also controlled by those same individuals. When you get into some of the stories that some of those people said, they were forced into taking certain contracts because they were drugged, and then they were taken to a party and they did some things that were extremely shameful, and those shameful things was recorded. They then used the recorded things to make them do other things. It's interesting though how those are the same people. I'm just saying. That's what they said. Go ahead.
Cephas answered and said unto him, though all men shall be offended because of you, yet will I never be offended. Yahshua says unto him,
That's us. That's us. No, man. Hey, bro. I'm down like 4 flat tires, bro. You know what I'm talking about? All day and day. That's me, bro. Go ahead.
verily I say unto you, that this night, before the cock crow,
He said, not tonight. Now, man, I'm down like 4 flat tires. You know what I'm talking about? I'm your ace boom coon, your soda cracker, your chewing the block. I'm your nigga, you don't get no blocker. That's me, dog. He said, nah, tonight. I ain't talking about tomorrow. No, tonight. Go ahead.
verily I say unto you, that this night, before the cock crow, you shall deny me 3 times.
You ain't gonna deny me once. I ain't gonna never deny me. Deny you. No. You gonna deny me. Go ahead.
Cephas said unto him, though I should die with you, yet will I not deny you.
Hey, ain't that us? On everything I love. That's how we would have said it. We wouldn't have said, we would on everything I love, shout. You know what I'm talking about? On everything, shout. On my mama grave, shout. Your mama in the kitchen. I'm just saying though. If she was in the grave, dog. Okay, go ahead.
Likewise also said all the disciples.
See, you see? Now, one of them done got the jibber jabbing. Now everybody else coming. Yeah, me too. Me 3. Okay, go ahead.
Then cometh Yahshua with them unto a place called Gethsemane, and says unto the disciples, sit you here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Cephas and the sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy. Then says he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry you here, and watch with me. And he went a little further, and fell on his face, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will.
Hey, he don't want to go through all of this, what he understands that he has to go through. We think we the only ones who get to a point that, you know what, I'm at a difficult point. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to keep going. I don't know. This right here, I don't feel very confident in this. We act like we the only ones that ever got to that. Go ahead.
And he comes unto the disciples, and find them asleep, and says unto Cephas, what, could you not watch with me 1 hour?
Why go with Cephas? He comes unto the disciples and finds them. But who he talked to?
Cephas, you mean tell me you couldn't watch 1 hour?
Can't you sleep? Y'all snoring? You ain't seen nobody but me. Okay, go ahead.
Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The spirit indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak. He went away again the second time, and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, thy will be done.
Your will be done, not what I want. This is why it's interesting that you have people who all of their prayers go to the Son. There are no prayers that happen. You need to pay attention. Sunday morning prayers don't go to Yahweh. That's why they were like they don't really care about using His name, because they don't pray to Him. All of that stuff is going to the Son, not to the Father. Go ahead.
And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. Then come he to his disciples and says unto them, Sleep on now and take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hands of sinners.
How you know that? Now he prayed and he came back. He said he went again the second time, verse 42, and prayed, saying, Oh, my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, your will be done. And he came and found them asleep again, for their eyes were heavy. Verse 44. And he left them and went away again and prayed the third time, saying the same words. So he did this 3 times. After that, verse 45, then came he to his disciples and said unto them, Sleep on now, take your rest. Behold, the hour is at hand, and the Son of Man is betrayed into the hand of sinners. How you know that? No answer. No answer. He realized when he didn't get an answer. See, this is parenting 101. All right, now let me bring it back to you. See, my mama didn't have to give me no whole bunch of work. I watched these little young parents, man. I laugh. I said, boy, they tickle me to death. When they got all these little words, come on, I said, boy, that boy gonna raise y'all yet. That boy gonna raise up his parents in the way that they should go. And when they get grown, they shall not depart. You hear what Big Daddy said, ain't you? Hold on. Shh, be quiet. Listen to what Big Daddy said. Not a damn thing. That's what Big Daddy said. What y'all doing all this talking for? Every word, they getting less and less respect for you. What you keep talking for? He understood all that because he know enough about his daddy. Hands. All right, come on. Let's go and get ready. It's about to go down. How you know that? Big Daddy didn't say nothing. I know what happens when Big Daddy don't talk. Big Daddy ain't had a loss for words. When he want to say something, Big Daddy say something. Go ahead.
Rise, let us be going. Behold, he's at hand that does betray me.
Mm-hmm. It is time for this business to go forward. Now let's go to jump to verse 69.
Now Cephas sat without in the palace, and a damsel came unto him, saying, You also was with Yahshua of Galilee. But he denied before them all, saying, I know not what you said.
Now I'm down like 4 flat tires. I'm trying to tell you, if everybody deny you, Yahshua, won't be me. Who you gave the keys to the kingdom? Me. That's who. Go ahead.
And when he was gone out into the porch, another maid saw him and said unto them that were there, This fellow was also with Yahshua of Nazareth. And again he denied with an oath, I don't know the man.
Though all will deny you, won't be me. Go ahead.
And after a while came unto him they that stood by, and said to Cephas, Surely you also are one of them, for your speech bewrayeth you. Then began he to curse and to swear, saying,
This one we're really trying to prove our lie. Right here. When we start cussing and everything. I told y'all, hey. I don't know that. Then we're really trying to prove the lie right here. We think we convincing the person in front of us, but we're really trying to convince ourselves. Go ahead.
I know not the man. And immediately the cock crew. And Cephas remembered the word of Yahshua, which said unto him, Before the cock crow, you shall deny me 3 times. And he went out and wept bitterly.
Now, this is a very, very pivotal part in his spiritual development. Now, because of this fall, there's an opportunity for the adversary, the devil, to now creep in and do some serious mental harm. Very serious mental harm. Let's go to Luke chapter 22. Because, I mean, now, wait a minute. We read, whoever shall deny me, I shall deny before my Father. Now, he has gotten in a position where he has ended up denying Yahshua. I'm talking about a person who was in the physical presence of Yahshua. Something that we will never have the opportunity to just say here on earth. Luke chapter 22, and we're going to read verses 31 through 34.
And the Adonai said, Simeon, Simeon, behold, Satan has desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat.
Now, this is the other part. This is why sometimes you got to go read the other part that is even in that same scenario, because there's a little different wording that open up your understanding. Yeshua already knew. Look, man, he coming for you. Why? Because I gave you the keys, bro. I know he coming for you. You next in line. Lucifer not gonna wait until you get on your feet and get strong and then ask you, all right, so you ready to fight? All right, I'm just gonna let you know, just being fair, I'm gonna punch you on the left side of your face. Are you ready? Who fights like that? He's not gonna give you all that warning. What?
But I have prayed for you, that your faith fail not.
Uh-huh.
And when you are converted, strengthen your brethren.
Check that out. He said, look, I already know you're gonna fall. I already know. I got you. But the adversary gonna make you think that you didn't just fall, you have fallen away. And that you are not worth repentance, you're not worth forgiveness. He is going to attack every bit of you. Yeshua already know. Look at him, man. Your fall is new to you. I saw your fall when I was talking to you. You keep thinking you telling me something. You ain't told me nothing. That you must like practicing your words out loud. Because you ain't telling me nothing. I knew when you were going to fall. I knew what you were wearing when you fell. Even though you ain't fell yet. Go ahead.
And he said unto him, Adonai, I'm ready to go with you, both into prison and to death.
Mm-hmm.
And he said, I tell you, Cephas, the cock shall not crow this day before that you shall 3 times deny that you know me.
Right. Now let's go to John chapter 21. See, Yeshua says, but I have prayed for you. See? Look, I know you're going to fall, but I have prayed for you. See, this is one of those things what we don't really understand when it says, pray you one for another. But, for us to do that, that means somebody got to know what we're going through. See? Well, I'm just going to, just pray willy-nilly for you, Yahweh, I plant early for good corn concerning, the brother Yahshua. I just make sure he get good corn. I don't. Now this brother going through hell, but I'm praying for corn. Brother ain't told me nothing about what he going through. How I'm gonna pray for him? I don't know what's in his mind. I don't know how the adversary, the devil, attacking him. So what I'm praying for? Corn. He got a little farm out there in the back. And I pray it be a good crop. Yeah, sure. I'm praying for you. Go ahead.
But Elder, when, like I said, when it all happened, he wept bitterly.
Yes.
He didn't just try to bypass the situation.
He sure did not.
and go in the good graces of the rest of the disciples.
That's us.
Yeah.
That's us right there. You know, we try to disappear for a few weeks, come back, don't look nobody in the eye. Read, man.
Verse 15. Yohanan chapter 21 and verse 15. So when they had denied Yahshua,
So
when they had dined, Yahshua says to Simeon Peter, Simeon, son of Jonas, love you me more than these? He says unto him, yes, Adonai, you know that I love you. He says unto him, feed my lambs.
Now, some of y'all, consider this right now, today, in 2023. We would be like, hey, man, this is like a gay moment going on right here, bro. You know what I'm saying? What kind of man just come out just nowhere? Hey, bro, you love me? Hold on, bro. Hold on. Hold on. I don't understand what kind of speech we having right now. I don't really understand how you coming at me with this love you stuff. Hold on, bro. Hold on. Don't come at me like that, man. But Yahshua covering him. That same prayer that he prayed, he is now restoring him on the fall. He don't really understand. This is why sometimes you running off at the mouth about something that you think you understand, and you don't really understand that person is actually restoring you, but you feeling some kind of way because your feelings done took control of the vehicle. This is a moment where your feelings can take control of the vehicle, and you turn around and throw away your blessing. You throw away your covering. He's being covered right here. He denied 3 times. Listen to how many times he asked him, did he love him? Go ahead.
He says to him again the second time, Simeon, son of Jonas, love you me? He says unto him, yes, Adonai, you know that I love you. He says unto him, feed my sheep.
Now, wait a minute. He done already asked the man, do he love him? The man says, I love you. Here, come on, man. Let's keep it 1,000. Let's say Sharon come in the room and she said, so, baby, you love me? Yeah, girl, I love you. Baby, you love me? No, I just tell you I love you, girl. Stop messing with me now. Now, if we feel some kind of way about that, what you think going on with this man asking him, do he love him? Okay, keep reading.
He says unto him the third time, Simeon, son of Jonas, love you me? Cephas was grieved because
there it is. Now, I'm be honest with y'all. Y'all know we ticked off before that third one, though, right? Y'all know we, first of all, we feel some kind of way at the first question. Why you asking me about love? You already know I love. Wait, come on now. Stop tripping. But we in orbit in question number 3. We are in orbit. But he's being covered. Go ahead.
Not only that, you asking them in front of the other disciples too.
Hey, you know we got a problem with that. You don't think you can pull me to the side and ask me this question? I mean, sure, we gotta have this question, you know what I'm saying, this conversation right amongst all the fellas. I mean, like right there, like, you know what I'm saying, just like this. Come on now. This ain't how we do it. Go ahead.
Cephas was grieved because he said unto him the third time, love you me? And he said unto him, Adonai, you know all things. You know that I love you. Yahshua says unto him, feed my sheep.
Feed my sheep. Look here. You love me. Look, I know you're going to fall. Your restoration is going to be in your job. Feed my sheep. The same number of times that you are going to deny me, I am already going to restore you. I have already prayed for you. It says the Spirit makes utterances which cannot be uttered for the needs that you have. And it threw that little stupid prayer that you prayed out the door. Yahweh, I really want a racing package on my vehicle. I seen this thing. Oh, it was up there at Godfather Customs. Look here, Father, please.
Please, I need that rig. Oh, it's got that double, oh, that cam on it. It sound, it make that sound, Father.
And then the angel came and just slapped that prayer down. Look, don't listen to that. He's stupid. Look, this what he need right here. Right. He said, I pray for you. But Yahweh's so good. He pray for you and you look up and he still let you get the double cam right there. He still made you still get the sound like but he slapped that little stupid prayer. He knew what you really needed. Yeah, he failed. But then he got strengthened by the same one he failed denying. Go ahead. You finish
Verse
that?
18. Verily, verily, I say unto you, when you was young, you girded yourself and walked whither you would. But when you shall be old, you shall stretch forth your hands, and another shall gird you, and carry you whither you would not. This spake he, signifying by what death he should glorify Elohim. And when he had spoken this, he says unto him, follow me.
All right. Let's go to 1 John chapter 2. I don't know if I'm tripping or not. Is it warm up in here? Cause boy, I'm like, hey man, ain't it December? He said it's gonna be a point where we don't know the difference between the seasons up in here. I can't tell what we in. Huh? Sometimes these lights get on you. You don't know if it's just you or not. But brother starting to glisten like that. Yeah, like he got on that baby oil. Like Go ahead.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world. If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him. For all that is in the world, the lust of the flesh, and the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life, is not of the Father, but is of the world. And the world passes away, and the lust thereof. But he that does the will of Elohim abides forever. Little children, it is the last time, and as you have heard that Antichrist shall come, even now are there many Antichrists, whereby we know that it is the last time. They went out from us, but they were not of us. For if they had been of us, they would no doubt have continued with us.
So what are they dealing with? We're gonna have people who gonna come and go. See, we're gonna have situations where we don't agree. We're gonna have situations where we get upset with one another. Guess what you have? It is an equation. You're gonna have this against that. This subtract from this. What's left over? Family. Family is what's left over. So you may have some cousins and some acquaintances that show up. When it all boils down, what's left over is family. That's how you know what you're working with. It's not about, okay, man, there's an altercation going on here. Yeah, let it play out. Why? Because I want to see who left over. See, somebody had explained to me what residue was. They put the water in there and pour some sugar in it. Then pour everything out that glass. That remnant is what's left in it. That's what you're working with. That's your family. So let all the situations do what they do. What's left over? That's family. That's what you're working with. But you got to empty the glass to know that. You too scared to empty the glass, you're going to think everything in that glass family. That ain't family. Family is what's left over when you pour it out. Go ahead.
But they went out, that they might be made manifest that they were not all of us. But you have an unction from the Holy Spirit, and you know all things.
It says, they went out from us that it may be made manifest. They were never a part of us. It had to be proven that they were not family. You need to get this. Settle. Go ahead.
Verse 21. I have not written unto you because you know not the truth, but because you know it, and that no lie is of the truth. Who is a liar but he that denies that Yahshua is the anointed one? He is Antichrist, that denies the Father and the Son. Whosoever denies the Son, the same has not the Father.
Wait a minute. We talking about somebody who straight was in the presence of Yahshua, denied Yahshua, yet Yahshua was the very one who prayed for him. Yeah, Daddy, hold on. Big Daddy. Can I talk to you for a second? Look, Big Daddy, this is my man, 50 grand now. I got it. He coming behind me. But look, he needs some strengthening. What he said, when you are converted, strengthen your brethren. So all these things are being said. We can find it beforehand. We can find it afterhand. Oh, you deny Yahshua, you are Antichrist. We talking about somebody who denied Yahshua, but guess what? Their life was on the line. We have to ask ourselves, what was on the line when you denied Yahshua? Right. Go ahead.
But he that acknowledged the Son has the Father also. Let that therefore abide in you, which you have heard from the beginning. If that which you have heard from the beginning shall remain in you, you also shall continue in the Son and in the Father. And this is the promise that he has promised us, even eternal life. These things have I written unto you concerning them that seduce you. But the anointing which you have received of him abides in you, and you need not that any man teach you, but as the same anointing teaches you of all things, and is truth, and is no lie, and even as it has taught you, you shall abide in him.
All right. Let's go to Acts chapter 15. So even when the things happen, I mean, you have to even look at how Yahweh sustained David. I mean, it's clear in this book, thou shalt not kill. It is very, very clear. But David had a job and a position and was faithful in all the other things that he had done. So Yahweh automatically put together a restitution plan. See, it's a difference between dying to pay for your sin and him giving you a restitution payment plan. See, some of y'all can't understand that because y'all ain't never had a payment plan before. So y'all ain't never had that letter that said,
Look here, man, you owe 6 months of this. Now look here, we about to send them people. They about to come get you.
and then you be like, option number 2, let me go ahead and work out a payment plan. Yahweh will give you a payment plan. He worked out a payment plan for David. And that payment plan helped him get to this point where he is able to pay off this absolutely amazing debt. Yahweh stretch it out too. But you know, that's how all payment plans go, you know. You don't really have the money to pay for it right now. So you got to stretch that plan out. It took David all his life to pay this off. Go ahead, brother.
Acts chapter 15 and verse 36. And some days after, Saul said unto Barnabas, let us go again and visit our brethren in every city where we have preached the word of the Adonai, and see how they do. And Barnabas determined to take with him Johanan, whose surname was Mark. But Saul thought not good to take him with them, who departed from them from Pamphylia. and went not with them to the work. And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from the other. And so Barnabas took Mark and sailed on to Cyprus. And Saul chose Silas and departed, being recommended by the brethren on to the grace of Elohim. And he went through Syria and Cilicia, confirming the churches.
All right. Now, one of the things here, verse 39. Read that again.
And the contention was so sharp between them that they departed asunder one from the other.
Now, the contention was about how the work was done. The separation was about how the work was done. No. When it was time to go and do this work, you ain't show up. It was so much contention at that part that there had to be a separation between them. So you see that this man here was about that work, and he didn't want to be associated with anybody who didn't look at the work that way. So then now we have to start putting pieces of that puzzle together. Let's go to Luke chapter 9. See, he didn't say I'm holier than you. He didn't say I'm more righteous than you. He said, man, when it was time to do the work, you ain't come, bro. He didn't say, you know what, man, you hung out with sinners. He didn't say none of that. What he said was, when it was time to go to work, bro, you ain't come. That's what he said. He didn't say, you know what, you ain't going to be able to attain under your salvation. He just said, no, man, we can't work together. Because my dedication to the work is a different thing. And if I got a left hand or if I got a right hand, I want to be able to depend on that left and that right hand. And I'm going to make it the way you can depend on me. But when I realize that I got a left or a right that I can't lean on, I got to get me another left and a right. Because I got to be able to lean on it. And I want it to be able to know that it can lean on me. Go ahead.
You know, brother, it's interesting that we touch on that, because just today as I was getting ready to come here and I'm looking at the time, you know, and I wasn't worried like I used to in the past, because now I know there's dedicated brothers that show up and are here, and I don't have that stress. So it is important to have those same work ethics, because we're not always going to be on time every time. But if you know everybody else has the same work ethics, then you know somebody's there to pick that up when you're not able to do it. You know, it's just interesting. Like I said, just today, because, you know, in the past we had other people with positions, but bro, I couldn't feel like if I was running late, they were going to be there.
Right.
You know, but hallelujah for the brothers who have stepped up, and I'm not pressed like that.
Brother, I used to get to the point where, you know, when the alarm is turned off and my phone give me a little ping that the alarm was turned off, I didn't have to look at the phone. I would say, yeah, Kish there. But now I actually have to look. I think, what one of them brothers down there? That ain't Kish. That wasn't so before. You're absolutely right. I thought about it a couple weeks ago. That you know, there are other brothers who will you know, get here and start doing the things that are needed to be done. You know, but you find out, like I said before, you empty that glass and you see what's left over. That remnant. See, you find out that sometimes people like a position. They like the accolade that go with a position, but don't really care about the work and don't want to be inconvenienced when it comes down to their time and the things that they have planned for themselves. That's what Yahshua said when he said, he that loves Father more than me. Oh, okay. You had to go do what? Yeah, I had to go do such and such and such and such. That's why I couldn't show up. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. All right. Did y'all enjoy yourself? Did y'all have a good time? Go ahead.
Luke chapter 9, in verse 57. And it came to pass that as they went in the way, a certain man said unto him, Adonai, I will follow you wherever you goeth. And Yahshua said unto him, Foxes have holes, and birds of the air have nests, but the Son of Man have not where to lay his head.
Right. But them people gonna tell you,
You know, Christ was rich. He built subdivisions.
boy, I don't know how you can have any trust for somebody whose last name is Dollar. Because it's like I already know what your focus is. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you are definitely about that dollar. You gonna really say, he was rich. He wants you to be rich. What? Man, it's not like in some hard place to find in the Old Testament. Okay? We're talking about people who claim that they believe in the New Testament. He says foxes have holes and birds of the air have nests. The Son of Man don't even have a place to lay his head. But yet, folks is teaching how rich he was. And then he want you to be rich. I think we kind of forgetting. Y'all do know we were rich already. You do know that's when we went against him the strongest, right? So why would he turn around and make all of us rich so we can forget about him just like we did before? Right.
We keep thinking my life gonna get better. The more money I get, better my life gonna get. More money, more money, more money.
Right. And we get more money and we end up being worse off the more money we get. And we keep thinking it's getting better. Go ahead.
And he said unto another, Follow me. But he said, Adonai, suffer me first to go and bury my father. Yahshua said unto him, Let the dead bury their dead.
Now, some of us, that was the last day we worship with Yahshua, right there. That was our last day right there.
You know what? Is your hunting still preaching? Is he still preaching? I think I need to follow another group. I think I'm gonna go to the church down the street. You know what, Yahshua, this ain't working out. You know what I'm saying? I'm not saying that you're not called by the Most High. I'm just saying, what I'm saying is, I just think that maybe I just need somebody with a different level of dedication and, somebody that's more sensitive to my feelings.
So then, folks decide they're going to go to another church. Then when it don't work out, they back at your doorstep.
Look, it didn't work out. Is my seat still available? No. Somebody in that seat. Well, no.
They went out from us as a manifestation that they were not of us. That decision was not a forced decision. You made a decision to walk out the door. You were not put out. You walked out. But by Elohim, you're going to stay out. But that was your decision. Go ahead.
But go you and preach the kingdom of Elohim. And another also said, Adonai, I will follow you, but let me first go bid them farewell, which are at home at my house. Yahshua said unto him, No man, having put his hand to the plow and looking back, is fit for the kingdom of Elohim.
Right. And see, we allow other things to cause us to look back. See, there are other things that will do this to us, and then we want to go back and try to renew, but you got to fix what caused you to take your eyes off the prize in the first place. Because if you don't fix whatever that is, you're going to make that decision again. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 1. See, we in the generation where we put Band-Aids on things and think it's fixed. Because, when you put the Band-Aid on it, you really don't see the ailment, And it's a shame because that's what we do to the kids. That's how you make a kid think that the boo-boo is fixed.
Like, I got a boo-boo. Well, let me put it, we're going to put a little darkness stuffing on there, you know. Yay, I got the dark. Put a little darkness stuffing, Band-Aid on it. Boom, it's gone away. Got to the point my kids used to ask Band-Aid for everything. Yeah? You hurt their feelings, they be like, can I get a Band-Aid? Where am I gonna put it at? Where your feelings at? Just put it so I can see it. That's not where your feelings at, though. Don't matter. I see the Band-Aid, I feel better. Okay. But that ailment's still under there. Deuteronomy chapter 1, and we're going to start at verse 34.
And Yahweh heard the voice of your words and was angry and sware, saying, surely there shall not one of these men of this evil generation see that good land, which I swear to give unto your fathers. Save Caleb, the son of Yephani, he shall see it. And to him will I give the land that he has trodden upon, and to his children, because he has wholly followed Yahweh.
Now, and to his children. Now, understand, there's certain things that individuals may do, and that punishment follows to their children. Then you have good things that an individual may do, and those good things follow unto their children. You ever sit down and ask yourself, what things have you done that have brought forth trauma unto your children? Now the next question. For the children, what things that you gonna do that you causing a problem for the children that you ain't even had yet? Because, you know, all we think about is us and how we feel at that particular moment. You don't really consider, you know, somebody got to pay for this. Now, somebody gonna pay for this. Now, it may not be me. See, this is the part that get you. As an adult, when you sitting down one day and you look up and you see your kid dealing with something, and you realize, damn, that's because of me. And sometimes you did it to the kid because you were so worried that something else was going to happen to the kid, and you operated one way, but you done something else. Now, that kid got to pay for something. That kid didn't have nothing to do with it. That was you. Go ahead.
Also Yahweh was angry with me for your sake, saying, you also shall not go in thither. But Yahshua the son of Nun, which stands before you, he shall go in thither. Encourage him, for he shall cause Israel to inherit it.
And you know, Yahweh deals with you on a need to know basis. All right. It's very difficult to hear these words. You're not going in, but encourage the brother after you. Man, come on, Yahweh, you, come on now. You know, I done went through all this stuff. I done changed my life. I done did all these things. You not gonna let me see the good land? And you gonna tell me to encourage the dude who gonna take my spot? Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. What? But see, Yahweh got a better spot for him, but he not really telling him that. See, no man knows where Moshe is buried, because he wasn't. No man went with Moshe. But Yahweh also got enough sense. Look, if they worshiped a snake on a pole, if he told them and they saw him take Moshe up, we know Elijah was taken up. All right, find the books that Elijah are responsible for. Okay, now, you look at the books specifically that Moshe has something to deal with, and you add to that us seeing him going to heaven. Done deal. We don't need no Yahshua. We don't need no nothing. Every brother in the street would have a diamond encrusted Moshe piece right there. I'm talking about with the staff and everything. I'm talking about the staff. It won't even be like that. It'll be going out in front. Like a brother, you bump into a brother. Hey, man, move your staff, bro. Man, you done bumped into my Moses piece, bro. What's wrong with you? It'll be different things of Moshe. We'll have One brother having red rubies, the burning bush. We have all kind of it would be the whole scene going across our chest. Yahweh know enough about your people? No. No. Because I know y'all. Go ahead.
You know, if we just get an understanding of this legacy and we can look and see it still plays out all around us. Just like we looking at Moshe being told to encourage the next man that's going to take over. We go through the same thing on jobs. Where positions come up, we might know it. They won't give it to us, but they make you train the person who gonna take that position. And we continuously live in this legacy.
We make sure we don't show them the shortcuts, too. We show them the long way on everywhere.
All right, now press this. Now walk all the way down to the bottom of that hill. Now turn the red button. All right. Yep, that's how you do it.
They be like, why you ain't showing the shortcut?
Shortcut is not by the book.
Wait, you said train him. I trained him. Hey, that was in your book? All right, it's a shortcut in the book. All right, then, we're going to get on up out of here. Now get out in front of my face now. Go ahead.
Moreover, your little ones, which you said should be a prey, and your children, which in that day had no knowledge between good and evil, they shall go in thither, and unto them will I give it, and they shall possess it. But as for you, turn you, and take your journey into the wilderness by the way of the Red Sea. Then you answered and said unto me, we have sinned against Yahweh. We will go up and fight according to all that Yahweh our Elohim commanded us.
Right. See, what we think in our own mind is that we get to decide when we're going to obey the words of Yahweh. So Yahweh said, go up. We even getting a coalition together to go examine the land, it was just so we can find something to be afraid of and have a reason to not go. So we don't obey Yahweh when he tells us to do something. Things don't go right. Then we want to show back up. Okay, Yahweh, now I'll listen to you. No, now you've lost the opportunity to listen to me. I'm sorry. You don't get the opportunity to listen to me now.
No, Yahweh, no, we ready now. I'm talking about we ready. Freddy, let's do this thing.
No, you're not gonna do it with me. I don't know who you're doing that with. But you're not gonna do it. No, you know what? We going up. Keep reading.
And when you had girded on every man his weapons of war, you were ready to go up into the hill. And Yahweh said unto me, say unto them.
Yahweh said unto me, talk to your folk, man. Go ahead.
Go not up, neither fight,
Right.
not among you, lest you be smitten before your enemies.
Right. And they should have known because the ark didn't move. None of the other stuff moved. But now they trying to right the wrong that they have done. Now they're going to make a bigger wrong because now they just going to go up. You don't get to just erase that. You're going to dismiss that wrongdoing and think, I'm just going to come back and we're going to act like ain't nothing happened and I'm going to go full steam. No, you ain't. You going without my spirit, I tell you that. Go ahead.
So I spake unto you, and you would not hear, but rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh.
You rebelled against the commandment of Yahweh twice. You didn't go when he told you to go, and then when he told you not to go, you went. Go ahead.
And went presumptuously up into the hill.
Surely Yahweh gonna protect me. We're gonna go. Come on, y'all. We're gonna go together. We're gonna do this. I know I did stupidly the first time, but he gonna be with us.
Go ahead.
And the Amorites which dwelt in that mountain came out against you, and chased you as bees do, and destroyed you in Seir, even unto Hormah. And you returned and wept before Yahweh, but Yahweh would not hearken to your voice, nor give ear unto you. So you
He did the same thing to you that you did to him. You ain't hear me? I mean, this is what we do to each other, right? I'm telling you, sometimes we don't understand what Yahweh has given us by giving us a family. He's giving you all the aspects of dealing with him. Sometimes y'all feeling funny, ain't nobody talking. Oh, so you ain't hearing me now? Baby. Boo. Baby girl, you gonna do this? Baby, sugar. Sweetheart. Right. Yahweh give you all kind of aspects. It's right there in the house. You ain't got to go look for everything. It's right there. Right there. If you know how to look, you can see, you'll know exactly how to deal with Yahweh. He's showing you. What do you think he said? It's good that you got a wife. Why do you think it's so good? Because I'm going to show you how to deal with me. It's good. You got a family. Good. You got a kid. Good. Let me show you something. You remember that kid wouldn't listen? That's you. I'm finna show you something, what? You on your way to date. Right. Right. Go ahead.
And so you abode in Kadesh many days, according unto the days that you abode there.
All right, let's go to 1 Kings chapter 11. First Kings chapter 11, and we're going to read verses 1 through 13. So it matters when we decide to listen to our Elohim. So there's some falls that we may be able to get up and restore ourselves. And then there's others that we're going to have to walk in for a minute. First Kings chapter 11 and started at verse 1.
But King Shlomo loved many strange women, together with the daughter of Pharaoh, women of the Moabites, Ammonites, Edomites, Zidonians, and Hittites.
And I mean, he's got an insatiable desire right here. But here's where knowledge helps you fall into a deeper hole. This man, we're talking about the wisest among anyone on earth at this point. My elder always says, knowledge puffs up. Go ahead.
Of the nations concerning which Yahweh said unto the children of Israel, you shall not go into them, neither shall they come in unto you. For surely they will turn away your heart after their gods. Shlomo clave unto these in love. And he had 700 wives, princesses, and 300 concubines, and his wives turned away his heart.
See, everybody believed that they can handle something. He's so intelligent that he believes that he can survive the turning of his heart. But the turning of your heart doesn't happen in one day. The turning of your heart is a process. And folk believe that they are handling something. And a little bit by bit, their heart is being turned. But Yahweh had already said, look, don't do this. I'm going to tell you the end result. But because we didn't lose today and we didn't lose yesterday, we don't foresee us losing tomorrow. We must be okay. Go ahead.
For it came to pass, when Shlomo was old, that his wives turned away his heart after other gods.
Okay, so that continual dropping done worked on him. Now, his heart has been turned, which is what Yahweh said in the beginning. See, there's certain little things that occur that we don't think we have to deal with right now. After a while, your heart gonna be turned. And when your heart is turned, you're gonna violate against your Elohim. Go ahead.
And his heart was not perfect with Yahweh his El, as was the heart of Dawid his father. For Shlomo went after Ashtaroth, the goddess of the Zidonians, and after Milcom, the abomination of the Ammonites. And Shlomo did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and went not fully after Yahweh, as did Dawid his father.
Now, this is where it gets interesting. Verse 6, and Shlomo did evil in the sight of Yahweh, and went not fully after Yahweh. Anything that takes your focus or causes you to not go after him fully. Why? Because you keep worrying about the woman and how she doing. Is she okay back there? Is she all right over there? Is she? Now, guess what? You can't walk fully. Why? Because you keep looking over here. You keep trying to figure out what's happening over here. Interesting. So to make it comfortable for her, we'll go ahead and build this house so she can worship her God. Now, you can't fully walk behind your God because you're looking over here because you got to see what she doing. You got to make sure she taken care of. Go ahead.
Then did Shlomo build an high place for Chemosh, the abomination of Moab, in the hill that is before Jerusalem, and for Molech, the abomination of the children of Ammon. And likewise did he...
So he didn't just build one house. He got all kind of houses. Now, to see, now he got all kind of wives. Now, think about, now, a lot of times people say, oh my God, he's a fool. We got 700 wives, princesses. But you have to ask yourself, what problems did the Israelite wives bring? I don't read no problem with those. I don't read no problem with those. What problem? See, a lot of times you be careful how you hear, because this is where people, especially people who don't like multiple marriages,
So you see that fool? You see what he did? See, this is how God gonna get you. Baby.
well, all right, well, just tell me, what problem did the Israelite wives bring to this party right here? Because I don't hear no problem with them. These them other women. See, these them other women that cause a problem. Okay, go ahead.
And likewise did he for all his strange wives.
Oh, the strange ones. So Yahweh said, "Now them strange ones, you gonna have a problem with them strange ones." But that's what we like. See, the more exotic. We don't want no Chevrolet. Everybody got a Chevrolet. Yeah. Come on. Shit.
Is that accurate?
Look at that. Oh, look at that. Look at that Mercedes. Look at that. Oh, look at that. That got the German kid on it, don't it? Ah. Yes. Yeah. We like them imports. Yeah. What? And it's the imports that Yahweh got a problem with. He said the import gonna turn you. He didn't say the import was foul. He didn't say anything negatively about the import. The part is about you. You gonna let the import turn you. He didn't go into all of these things. Look at, man, the import's the devil is something. No. You have a weak heart. And that import gonna turn you. Go ahead.
Which burnt incense and sacrificed unto their gods. And Yahweh was angry with Shlomo, because his heart was turned from Yahweh Elohim of Israel, which had appeared unto him twice, and had commanded him concerning this thing, that he should not go after other gods, but he kept not that which Yahweh commanded. Wherefore Yahweh said unto Shlomo, forasmuch as this is done of you, and you have not kept my covenant and my statutes, which I commanded you, I will surely rend the kingdom from you, and will give it to your servant.
Now, wait a minute. So now the action that Shlomo has entered has now caused problems for generations after him. So now these people who are coming after him have to answer for the doings of him. Everything that now proceeds after this is because of his doing, not these people. Go ahead.
Brother, you're talking about the imports, and I'm glad you touched on that, because we got to realize that even those that look like us can still be a stranger in your house.
No doubt.
Bottom line is, are you going to run your house as the man, the way Yahweh wants you to run your house? Or are you letting the influence of pleasing your strange wife run the house?
Bro, they got American plants that build Hondas. You can have a homegrown import. Let's go to Deuteronomy chapter 7. So you know that when you're looking for them parts for a Honda, and you look at the VIN number, and a certain VIN number meant it was built in Mexico?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, all right, okay.
I got one for you. Working on a Ford recently, the man said you ain't got parts for it because this one was made in Mexico. And that's supposed to be domestic.
Right.
Homegrown.
Right. You got a domestic import. Check that out. You lucky it didn't say door jar in Spanish. Deuteronomy chapter 7, and we're going to read verses 1 through 4.
When Yahweh your El shall bring you into the land, whether you go to possess it, and have cast out many nations before you, the Hittites, and the Girgashites, and the Amorites, and the Canaanites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, 7 nations greater and mightier than you. And when Yahweh your El shall deliver them before you, you shall smite them and utterly destroy them. You shall make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them.
You shall make no covenant with them, nor show mercy unto them. Go ahead.
Neither shall you make marriages with them. Your daughter you shall not give unto his son, nor his daughter shall you take unto your son. For they will turn away your son from following me.
Stop. It don't matter how they do that. See, what we say, well, I ain't worship no other God. Don't matter. They turn you away from following him. Why? Because you're constantly looking back. You know, I had to think about something and realizing what happens when somebody does marry outside of their culture. They're constantly worried, is somebody mistreating that person? Is somebody talking about them? Is somebody doing, this? And then you got to think about, then they bring a seed in. So now they trying to watch 2 rooms. Now they worrying about if somebody hurting their feelings over here, and then if somebody saying something to the kid over there, now they so worried they can't follow Yahweh. Yahweh need them to do something over here, but they keep jumping in between these 2 rooms because they worried about what's happening. And to get that thought process, it was interesting that Yahweh took me back to a thought. There was a point when I first when I got my motorcycle again. See, when I first got in the Word, I had me a sport bike, and I ended up selling that, and so I can get a computer and camera equipment so I can do documentaries. But folk question, my dedication level. But anyway, so I sold that motorcycle. 10, 11 years later, I finally get me another motorcycle. My family say, I like riding that motorcycle. I want to get me one. I said, nah, I can't let you get no motorcycle. And I thought about it. Am I going to be able to ride? Because I'm constantly worrying. When I hit that curve at 100, did she make that curve? There's a point that even when you chilling on this motorcycle and somebody move, because you on 2 wheels, they on 4. So somebody come over, I got to get ignorant. Because I got to lay down on this thing. I might have to take this thing to 130, get ignorant so I can get out the way. Now I'm worried. Did she get ignorant enough? Was she slow to get ignorant? That's what happened when these brothers marry. They can't follow Yahweh. They keep looking back. Did she make that curve? Is she comfortable coming in? Does she feel such and such? You can't follow Yahweh because you keep looking to try to figure out what's going on with her. Now, what happened when you get an offspring? You have now become of no use to your Elohim. Why? Because you keep looking back. Go ahead, bro.
Let's look at verse 3 and 4. It says, neither shall you make marriages with them. Your daughter you shall not give unto his son, nor his daughter shall you take unto your son. Then he goes, for they will turn away your son from following me. Not your daughter. He said your son. Anybody stop to think about why he said your son? Because now you get the son and now the whole lineage gone. The daughter's going to be absorbed into whatever culture she married into.
Right.
But now your son and the whole lineage coming behind turned away from Yahweh.
Yep. And that turning away part is bit by bit. See? They say a man who finds a wife finds a good thing. Not if he can't remember to serve Yahweh. Then you found a bad thing. You found a good bad thing. It's only good if you can maintain the focus that you're supposed to have. People win the lottery, they say they got blessed. Talk to them a year and a half later. Man, my life is in shambles. Bro, you got $25 million. What's wrong with your life? Because now that thing that was supposed to be good has brought them absolutely nothing but turmoil. Why? because they ain't know how to handle it. So yeah, you get a wife that's supposed to be a good thing, but then you don't know how to operate that thing that was given unto you. Now that thing operating you. Now you can't operate with your Elohim the way you supposed to. Now you done cause it and you problems. Now look at what you done to a good thing. Now is it the good thing's problem? That you don't know how to work it? Is it the TV fault that you won't read the manual? Do we then call Vizio and tell them what kind of piece of crap television they made? Because you don't want to follow the instruction? This old dumb TV, I can't get it to do such and such. Well, sir, it's clearly on page 4 of the manual. If you press the input 4 times and press the right arrow and then the down arrow, you're going to be right where you need to be. Oh. Right. But you think something wrong with the thing. No. Something wrong with you because you ain't figure out how to operate it. And understand, all Vizios don't operate the same way. You got to figure out how your Vizio works. Let's go before I get in trouble. Where we going, bro?
1 Kings.
1 Kings chapter 12 before I be out in the garage all week. Be like, yeah, that brother bad behind the altar. Yeah, but he back there in the garage tonight. 1 Kings chapter 12. Let's start at verse 16.
So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying,
Wait. Hold on. Let me get that. 1 Kings. Okay. All right. I'm there now.
Verse 16. So when all Israel saw that the king hearkened not unto them, the people answered the king, saying, What portion have we in Dawid? Neither have we inheritance in the son of Jesse. To your tents, O Israel. Now see to your own house, Dawid. So Israel departed unto their tents.
Now, this is because of the action of Shlomo. Okay? So now the whole kingdom is divided because of his actions. So this is that thing where we might look at something where we say, okay, I have the power to do something. That don't mean it's expedient for you to do it because you have the power to do it. And you have to consider what's going to come behind all of these actions that I now have the power to do in my hand. Here we go right here. Those decisions that he made, now we have a divided kingdom that we still got to try to put together, by the way. That division was never fixed. Okay, go ahead.
But as for the children of Israel which dwelt in the cities of Yehuda, Rehoboam reigned over them. Then King Rehoboam sent Adoram, who was over the tribute, and all Israel stoned him with stones, that he died. Therefore King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot to flee to Jerusalem. So Israel rebelled against the house of Dawid unto this day. And it came to pass, when all Israel heard that Jeroboam was come again, that they sent and called him unto the congregation and made him king over all Israel. There was none that followed the house of Dawid, but the tribe of Yehuda only. And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he assembled all the house of Yehuda, with the tribe of Benjamin, 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against the house of Israel, to bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam, the son of Shlomo.
Right. So now they said, we finna go to war. There's a division that done happened in the house. We finna go and put it back together. Go ahead.
But the word of Elohim came on to Shimei, this man of Elohim, saying, Speak unto Rehoboam, the son of Shlomo, king of Yehuda, and unto all the house of Yehuda and Benjamin, and to the remnant of the people, saying, Thus says Yahweh, You shall not go up, nor fight against your brethren, the children of Israel. Return every man to his house, for this thing is from me.
Right. You shall not put back the kingdom together. It is from me. The reason it's been divided. I divided it because of Shlomo's actions. And ain't no fighting you gonna put back together what Yahweh has cut asunder. Go ahead.
They hearkened therefore to the word of Yahweh, and returned to depart according to the word of Yahweh. Then Jeroboam built Shechem in Mount Ephraim, and dwelt therein, and went out from thence and built Penuel. And Jeroboam said in his heart, now shall the kingdom return to the house of David. If this people go up to do sacrifice in the house of Yahweh at Jerusalem, then shall the heart of this people turn again unto their Adonai, even unto Rehoboam king of Yehuda, and they shall kill me, and go again to Rehoboam king of Yehuda.
So here we go again. Well, somebody worried about what somebody else gonna do. So now they can't fully follow Yahweh because they're worried about what somebody else gonna do. So now they got to put up a remedy because what they don't want. Okay, now you got a divided house within Israel, but we got holy days. So what happened when everybody get ready to go to the holy days and then they end up back over there with David? They're gonna get all married. They're going to be drinking.
You know what, King? You are the king. What we following this fool for?
So he said, I got to fix that. Go ahead.
Whereupon the king took counsel and made 2 calves of gold and said unto them, it is too much for you to go up to Jerusalem.
Don't go up there. That's too much. I got your gods right here.
Go ahead.
Behold your gods, O Israel, which brought you up out of the land of Egypt.
Egyptian gods brought you out of Egypt. Where that make sense at? Where they do that at when the Egyptian God brought you out of Egypt? Don't the Egyptian God want you to stay in Egypt? Go ahead.
And he set the one in Bethel, and the other put he in Dan. And this thing became a sin, for the people went to worship before the one, even unto Dan. And he made an house of high places, and made priests of the lowest of the people, which were not of the sons of Levi.
All right, now you got to follow this process. Now you got to follow this timeline. So you have this division because of Shlomo's actions. All right. Now you have because he's afraid of when the holy days are coming that they might go and reaffirm themselves unto David. So he then creates worship practices in Israel against Judah so that they won't go back. All right? And then he's got to make priests who's going to agree with that. Go ahead.
And Jeroboam ordained a feast in the 8th month, on the 15th day of the month, like unto the feast that is in Yehuda. And he offered upon the altar. So did he in Bethel, sacrificing unto the calves that he had made. And he placed in Bethel the priest of the high places which he had made. So he offered upon the altar which he had made in Bethel the 15th day of the 8th month, even in the month which he had devised of his own heart.
He just made his own thing. Because sometimes we got to do something different to establish ourselves. We're gonna do something else. We ain't gonna do what they do. Matter of fact, we're gonna do something better than what they doing. Yeah. Yeah, you got Passover. We got Massover. Yeah, we gonna have Massover. Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna be better than this. Go ahead.
And ordained a feast unto the children of Israel. And he offered upon the altar and burnt incense.
All right. So he got this thing set up. Let's go to 2 Chronicles chapter 11. Now remember, this is coming behind Shlomo's actions, and now we have a divided kingdom. Okay? We have a divided kingdom at this point. 2 Chronicles 11, and we're going to read verses 1 through 17.
And when Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem, he gathered of the house of Yehuda and Benjamin 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors, to fight against Israel, that he might bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam. But the word of Yahweh came to Shimei, the man of Elohim, saying, Speak unto Rehoboam the son
Jump to verse 5.
And Rehoboam dwelt in Jerusalem and built cities for defense in Yehuda. He built even Bethlehem and Etam and Tekoa and Beth Zor and Soko and Adullam and Gath and Marishah and Ziph and Adoraim and Lachish and Zekah and Zorah and Yehalan and Hebron, which are in Yehuda and in Benjamin, fenced cities. And he fortified the strongholds and put captains in them, and store of victual and of oil and wine. And in every several city he put shields and spears and made them exceeding strong, having Yehuda and Benjamin on his side. And the priests and the Levites that were in all Israel resorted to him to him out of all of their coasts.
Now, so you have Judah, you have Benjamin. Now it says in verse 13, and the priests and the Levites that were in all Israel resorted to him out of all their coasts. The Levites were spread out. All right, remember, because of the division, now, boy worried that they're going to go over there, so he set up his own priests. So now the actual priests can't serve in Israel. All right, we're going to put a few things together about some things that we already know, but we're going to put together the part that happened before and after. All right, keep going.
For the Levites left their suburbs and their possession and came to Yehuda and Jerusalem, for in Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto Yahweh. And he ordained him priests for the high places and for the devils and for the calves which he had made.
All right. So this is what Jeroboam did in the place of Israel. Samaria is in Israel, not in Judah. All right? Now, remember that. Keep going.
And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, such as set their hearts to seek Yahweh Elohim of Israel, came to Jerusalem to sacrifice unto Yahweh El of their fathers. So they strengthened the kingdom of Yehuda and made Rehoboam the son of Shlomo strong.
Made Rehoboam
the son of Shlomo strong 3 years. For 3 years they walked in the way of Dawid and Shlomo.
Yeah, man, that Jeroboam and Rehoboam. You'd be like, you know what? I wish them names were totally different right there, because that's real easy to get confused. Now let's go to 2 Kings chapter 17. So remember now, we have this divided thing. So because there's one part that you kind of need to read these behind each other, because you're going to get more of the picture. 2 Kings chapter 17 and start at verse 18.
Therefore Yahweh was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. There was none left but the tribe of Yehuda only.
All right, so talking about the split, right? All right, go ahead.
Also Yehuda kept not the commandments of Yahweh their El, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. And Yahweh rejected all the seed of Israel and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers until he had cast them out of his sight.
All right, so northern kingdom, southern kingdom, he turns around and he deals with Israel. All right, go ahead.
For he rent Israel from the house of Dawid, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following Yahweh and made them sin a great sin.
All right, so we just catching up to where we are, what we read before. Go ahead.
For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did, they departed not from them, until Yahweh removed Israel out of his sight, as he had said by all his servants the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their own land to Syria unto this day.
All right, so when we talk about that, then we're talking about the same ones who had the false priests already. All right, now remember that. Go ahead.
And the king of Assyria brought men from Babylon, and from Cutha, and from Ava, and from Hamath, and from Sepharvaim, and placed them into the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel.
Into Samaria. All right. So now this is the same place where they already had all the strange priests. The Levites have been ran out. Go ahead.
And they possessed Samaria and dwelt in the cities thereof. And so it was at the beginning of their dwelling there that they feared not Yahweh. Therefore Yahweh sent lions among them, which slew some of them. Wherefore they spake to the king of Assyria, saying, the nations which you have removed and placed in the cities of Samaria know not the manner of the El of the land. Therefore he has sent lions among them, and behold, they slay them, because they know not the manner of the El of the land. Then the king of Assyria commanded, saying, carry thither one of the priests whom you brought from thence.
All right, now, if you carry one of the priests whom you brought from thence, you have to then ask yourself, what priests are these? This ain't no Levite. Ain't no Levites there. They already drove out the Levites. So they already got a watered down priestly version in Israel to start with. So then when you have all these people and they get to talking about, you know what, man, there's many books, you know, that we are not considering. Yeah, man, we got a whole kingdom of fake priests. So you got all these people. Hey, man, there's so many books, man, that y'all need to consider. Books from who? I wouldn't deal with nothing coming out of Israel right here. You know, so then when we get to some other parts and we read some things, they're going to make a little bit more sense now. Keep going.
Then one of the priests whom Yah had carried away from Samaria came and dwelt in Bethel and taught them how they should fear Yahweh.
How to fear Yahweh. Now, they're doing just enough not to upset Yahweh. And they have mastered this art because they were already doing that when Israel was in the land. Now you have this mixed multitude that's going on. Go ahead.
Howbeit, every nation made gods of their own and put them in the houses of the high places which the Samaritans had made, every nation in their cities wherein they dwelt. And the men of Babylon made Succoth Benoth, and the men of Cuth made Nergal, and the men of Hamath made Ashima. And the Ivites made Nibhaz and Tartak, and the Sepharvites burnt their children in the fire to Adremelech and Anamelech, the gods of Sepharvaim.
Right. So then they're in Israel, but they all brought their gods with them. So all these practices that we look up and say, where y'all get this from? Here they go. Go ahead.
You know, when you go back to verse 29, touching on what you're talking about, it says, howbeit every nation made gods of their own and put them in the houses of the high places which the Samaritans had already made.
Right. So that we gonna get to something here. Some other things are going to make sense. Go ahead.
So they feared Yahweh and made unto themselves of the lowest of them priests of the high places.
Right. They had already been doing that anyway. That was already going on. This was normal in Samaria. Go ahead.
Which sacrificed for them in the houses of the high places. They feared Yahweh and served their own gods.
They feared Yahweh just enough to not get cut out of the land. Go ahead.
After the manner of the nations whom they carried away from thence.
All right. Now let's go to John, Yohanan chapter 4. See, now some things are going to make sense. Yohanan chapter 4, and we're going to start with verses 1 through 15.
When therefore the Adonai knew how the Pharisees had heard that Yahshua made and baptized more disciples than Yohanan, though Yahshua himself baptized not, but his disciples, he left Judea.
So in case you're wondering, the disciples did the baptism. Please don't let them Purple Street Warriors fool you, into that little game, though Yahshua baptized not. They always leave off that part, but his disciples. Please do not get fooled by this elementary trick, because all of these individuals are without a baptism. Go ahead.
He left Judea and departed again into Galilee, and he must needs go through Samaria.
Wait a minute. He must needs go. It is a path that he has to take to go through Samaria. Now, wait a minute. This is a part where the land was divided because of Shlomo's dealing. It has now come down. All of the Levites were forced out because they were not allowed to operate in truth because he needed his foulness to go on. He was worried about the people going to reconfirm themselves with the house of Judah. So he made his own gods and made his own priests. All of that was happening in Samaria. Eventually, Yahweh removes them. They then go get a priest who was removed from there. So they went and got a fake one. And that's who taught them how to do just enough not to upset Yahweh. All right, keep reading.
Then comes he to a city of Samaria,
So that's where Yahshua is. All right. So that you can put your mind in the place. Now he's in that same place where all those things took place. Go ahead.
which is called Sychar, near to the parcel of the ground that Jacob gave to his son Joseph. Now Jacob's well was there. Yahshua therefore, being wearied with his journey, sat thus on the well, and it was about the 6th hour. There comes a woman of Samaria to draw water. Yahshua says unto her, Give me to drink. For his disciples were gone away unto the city to buy meat. Then says the woman of Samaria unto him, How is it that you, being a Yehudi, ask drink of me, which am a woman of Samaria? For the Yehudims have no dealings with the Samaritans.
They don't deal with one another. Remember, now they have been separated. There's just as many strangers in Samaria as Israel. They don't deal with one another. Go ahead.
Yahshua answered and said unto her, If you knew the gift of Elohim, and who it is that says to you, Give me to drink, you'd have asked of him, and he would have given you living water. The woman says unto him, Sir, you have nothing to draw with, and the well is deep. From whence then have you that living water? Are you greater than our father Jacob, which gave us the well, and drank thereof himself, and his children, and his cattle?
Right. And we know that when she says our father Jacob, she wanted the 12 tribes. Keep going.
Yahshua answered and said unto her, Whosoever drinks of this water shall thirst again. But whosoever drinks of the water that I shall give him shall never thirst. But the water that shall give him shall be in him a well of water springing up into everlasting life. The woman says unto him, Sir, give me this water that I thirst not, neither come hither to draw.
All right. So they get into a conversation here. Jump to verse 22.
You worship you know not what. We know what we worship, for salvation is of the Yehudims.
Now, when you consider all of the things that's happening, you have a little bit more understanding of this statement. Y'all ain't got no priest. Y'all got these dudes over here pretending. You ain't got no priest over there. What you talking about? You don't even know what you worship. See, at first it seems like Yahshua might be just being a little arrogant. You don't know what you worship. Judah up in his shoulder. No, it's much bigger than that. They've had generations of false priests by now. They say you don't even know what you worship. So then you listen to these people, right? And they'll tell you, well, you should read the Samaritan copy of this book. If you're reading the Samaritan copy of anything, you need to hit yourself with a hammer. Right. Understand what somebody trying to get you. No, man, because see, this goes deep. Right. Real deep. You know how many gods they was worshiping up in there? And then they got priests for that? And then we'll say, well, you know, this came from Israel. A whole lot of buffoonery came from Israel. From people who swore they were priests. But they was priests of the lowest. Understand that. But let us hear the conclusion of this matter. Let's go to Revelation chapter 1. Revelation chapter 1. And we're going to read verses 12 through 15.
Verse 12. And I turned to see the voice that spake with me. And being turned, I saw 7 golden candlesticks.
Well, 7 golden candlesticks. We talking about the 7 spirits of Elohim, all right? We talking about power, spiritual power in very high places. Go ahead.
And in the midst of the 7 candlesticks, one like unto the Son of Man, clothed with a garment down to the foot.
Clothed with the garment down to the foot. In other words, he got his loins covered. He ain't just dressed any old kind of way. But then when you tell somebody, hey, look, hey, man, brother, your shirt need to be longer. Hey, brother, you need to do this. Hey, man, why you sweating me, man? He's telling you, when it comes down to holiness, what he looked like, what he dressed like. Go ahead.
And girt about the paps with a golden girdle. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes were as a flame of fire. and his feet like onto fine brass.
Now, for your convenience, I put in this graphic here some feet. Now, the first foot is that of an Israeli foot. I have an African American foot in the middle, and I have a Palestinian foot off to the right. Now, we're going to read again verse 15. Read verse 15.
And his feet like onto fine brass,
Uh-huh.
as if they burnt in a furnace.
I would like for you to pick out the foot. I said I would like for you to pick out the foot that look as though it might have burned in the furnace. Go ahead, brother.
And his voice as the sound of many waters.
And that's all that we're going to do for today. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. Shabbat shalom.